Well, build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance that's buried in his eye. Well, he gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and a long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I drown my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober.
Yep.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to sort of a late quick bang. Normally we would do this on the same night as the match, but with my car being out of action, didn't get home till about midnight last night. So we'll do a wee quick, very short bonus episode just to cover off the Hibs v Rangers game last night. Joined by Colin. How are you doing, Colin?
I'm good. So classing this as a bonus. Who's it a bonus for?
Us. Everybody else. We're just inflicting punishment on everybody else.
Fuck, I thought it was short bangers. We're getting on fucking
so what's this shite? Apologies for that. So I suppose when we kick off, we should say thanks to everybody who's shared on Twitter or Facebook or the various places that you see these things. Instagram, where we've come up on the Spotify Wrapped. You seen this, Colin? You had a look at your Wrapped for the year?
I got the notification, but I didn't look at it. No, I didn't actually click on it.
You'd have a look. It's quality. So they did one for podcasters as well. So you've got like your individual one, and you've got like a Spotify Wrap for podcasters, and it tells you like sort of, I think like if it's just stuff that folk have listened on Spotify, whether it ropes everything in. Right. But I've got it's just in front of me just as it's loading. So first thing, a lot of firsts this year, didn't they really? What do you think the first thing was?
What do you mean the first thing? Like the first thing you listened to?
So first episode of the year, January 4th, Junkie Station Acrobat. That was Longbangers episode 79. That was the boy fell down the stairs at the Queen Margaret Station. He was fucked. No, after the fall, he was alright because he was that junkie. He just kind of got straight back up again, like nothing happened.
Until the next day.
Martin Boyle was.
That boy at the Derby. I tell you about that boy at the Derby years ago in the 2K game.
Fell over the vomitorium.
Oh, yeah, fucker! What a noise that made!
Jesus,
I genuinely thought the boy was dead, like because I was right next to that aisle, and I heard the noise. And I was with my daughter, who was just obviously a lot younger at the time, and I'm like, no, didn't even fucking go anywhere near it. And then they shut it off, and I thought he's fucking dead. And I read on Hibs.net or something later in the week, he was alright. Fuck, how was he alright? How was he just went fucking header over that thing?
I think the drink softens you up for things like that.
Aye, relaxes.
I'd recommend that as a safety thing.
Just get pissed and jump off, see how it goes.
What we're saying, the Martin Boyle episode that was played in 5 countries. Apparently, he was telling us this impressive growth. Streams up 112%, 108% up on hours, 49% up on followers, and I think that's
on the Radio 1 breakfast show soon.
15% on listeners. 280 fans listen to us more than any other podcast. They're 280 sound cunts. That's what I would say. If you're those people, these are sound. 39 fans spent their birthdays listening to us. Happy birthday. 9 fans rang in the New Year with us. Imagine spending your New Year listening to us. Legendary. 38 folk listen to us on the actual podcast day. 77 folk listen to more than 50 of our episodes. What else is there? 39% of your fans listen to between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. when you should be at work. 6,830 minutes of content, apparently. Fucking hell. All for free as well.
I was going to say, fuck me, I cost a lot of money as well.
Aye, I'm paying you. Right, I think I'm a laugh about it. Anyway, just to take it, the depressors in a minute after all that, Hibs got beat last night. What did you think of the game, though?
I didn't think it was a great game, but I thought we'd done all right, actually, and I thought we were worthy at least a point, not at least off a point, because I don't think either team really looked like scoring. Boy behind me actually said about early in the first half, second half, 46, 47 minutes, this has got 0-0 written all over it, and I think he was right until until what happened. So disappointing. Another fine margins and all that loss in the in a big game, but aye, disappointing. What do you think?
I thought we were decent. I didn't think Rangers were much better than us. Like through the game, I thought there was never like a point in the game I thought we were going to get beat here. Joe, I thought we were pretty comfortable. It was one of those games where like, the defence were coping with what they needed to cope with. Morelos had that chance that he kind of headed wide. He probably should have scored. But other than that, it can't mean Macy did much other than dealing with a couple of long range things. And McGregor didn't have anything to get another goal as well. Can't mind. Well, Boyle had a shot near post.
Carden had put one wide in the second half.
Aye.
There wasn't much else really. I mean, a couple of corners he flapped it a bit, McGregor, but
aye. Newell put the one across the box. Where he kind of beat the man and then cut back. I think
like,
Golson got the touch just before Nisbet. Nisbet would have scored otherwise, I think. But I was pretty happy with how we were playing. I quite enjoyed the game. See, for a 0-0, I thought it was like a good contest. I thought both teams looked like they wanted to win the game, but just struggled to break the other team down.
Yeah. It was a decent enough match. I mean, it was scrappy.
What do you think? You beat him? You should probably talk about him.
Yeah, there was a few strange calls in there. The one when I think Morelos no clattered Porteous, but he caught Porteous. Porteous made a big deal at hitting the ground and all that, like he tends to do. And then Porteous got the row. Like, what? I'm there. And there was another one right in front of us, actually. Cadden knocked the ball past the boy, and the guy slipped. And he pulled it back for a free kick. It's like, it wasn't even, I didn't even think he was near him. I need to see it back again, but it was right in front of me. And I thought, what the fuck's that for? There was one in the second half too that they just booted the ball at the park. And I've seen the clip back. They go, it was Barisic again or somebody booted the ball at the park. And the commentator says, cleared by Barisic. And then the fucking Rangers throw. Like, he lodged it into like fucking Rosette. It wasn't even like a deflated him. Well, we thought that later on, we got told it was because we took the throw into the wrong place or something. When do you ever get a throw and turn over that?
It's fucking mental, eh? It's mental.
Aye, so, and then obviously there was a penalty, which at the time I thought was probably a penalty. And then when I seen the replay and Brunel had this guy go on, I thought, well, looks like a penalty. And then I seen it again and I thought, Kent was going down either way. Like, Kent was going down whether Porteous caught him or no there. And Porteous was a bit unlucky he didn't get his leg away in time. Although in another way you could say, well, why was he doing that? Why was he putting himself at danger there anyway? Because I think McGinn was on him first, and Porteous kind of came in and stepped in thinking, I'll take him on here. Whereas McGinn could have maybe dealt with him. So I'd be shouting for it. As Jack Ross said, I agreed with Jack Ross. He says, you're shouting for it if it's your team, and we would be, because Boyle does that as well. Boyle does go and leave the leg dangling and that for boys to take like that. And we would be shouting for it. I think the difference is it's a 50-50 for us and it's a 95-5 for them in that decision that we sometimes get it, they always get it. That's the difference.
I tend to agree with that. It was one of those ones that you're like, well, out of all the decisions that you made that last night, that was probably the least contentious one. You could probably go and say, right, you can make a call for it. I thought it was terrible. All right, it was the most bizarre with things like the Barisic one. You're going, fucking nothing's happened there, right? Why is that a free kick? The one where he's kicked it out. I think the East Stand linesman, he'd given him a corner that should have been a goal kick for us. The Boyle offside one, because one that Boyle ran, I can't remember who it was that was going for. I think Nisbet was going for the ball initially. Doesn't get to the defender, realises Nisbet's not getting it, so relaxes, and then Boyle comes up like on his blind side and called offside.
I didn't have a good view of that, and I've not seen it back, so I couldn't. I'm at the other end, so you'd be in line with that at the time.
It didn't look like he was close to being offside. There was another one. I think Boyle collected the ball, not quite halfway inside our half, and the flag for an offside position. Did he? I was like,
fucking real. We spoke about that at the time. It's because he was when the ball was played, he was offside, and he ran back, and it was bouncing about, and he kind of got in front of the boy, and that's what
that's
like
fair
that's
enough.
because he's ran for an offside. But it's fucking, what benefit did they get for being offside there though? No.
Aye, because for that one, I just couldn't see where they'd come from. But it looked like the Rangers players were all back where they should be, the defenders and everything. It just seemed mental that it could have been caught offside.
Aye.
But I kind of presumed that had been what had happened. Another one that folk were getting annoyed about us with was I think Davis mishit a pass and it hit beaten, and it landed for us, and he gave the bounce ball. But that's the rule, though. Like, so I can't really complain about that one. The McGinn throw-in one was just fucking bizarre because
I've never seen that before ever happen. Like,
aye, they just haven't moved back. Can't they just say no? Take it to the back there, or
watching the clip that we got sent last night. Like, I thought we never even give them the opportunity to. Like, I think McGinn just took the throw in. It wasn't like there was any fucking about. Can he just grabbed that ball for the side of the pitch and fucking threw it in? Aye. It wasn't like there was any running up the line like they did 10, 15, 20 yards to try and sneak a. There was like when McGregor was trying to take that. Was it offside or a free kick away in the corner, and he threw it out to about 18-yard line? Like, never turned the free kick over. You know what I mean?
Nah. He didn't even bother about it. He just
laughed. Tell him to move it fucking back.
Aye, he just laughed.
They played it sideways anyway. I always think it's funny when you get agitated about that when you know they're in their goal line. I mean, it's not like they're sneaking it forward to get a better shot on goal, eh? And then they play it sideways anyway. So
I think it's more the principle of it, though, isn't it? That's what you get annoyed at. Is you go, well, why is it all right there, but no? When McGinn's taking the throw in at halfway, it's not going to fucking throw it into the box for there. So why is that a big deal? And what was other Hanlon being done? He takes an age. He does eventually stop the play, but that's after the Rangers player, is it Kamara, had the ball, I think, was like, what am I fucking doing with this? Am I pitting it out or am I no? And they kind of stopped. The Hibs players are stopped by this point, and the referees then almost kind of obliged to. McGregor, of course, he went mental. That's because he realised he was wearing orange or fucking whatever. He wasn't even angry about the play, just angry about something else.
How bad his knees are. You see how he wonders about that box? I think he's about done. Like, he's got a huge padding on his knees and he's walking about like an old man. I think he's flapping at crosses and that now. He's on his way out, I reckon.
That's probably why he's so annoyed. So, but beating it, he only stopped the play when he had to, with Hanlon. But then, was it Kent went down? Injured? And he stopped it right away. And even there was the Goldson and Purchase one in their box. Both players are lying on the ground. He runs past Purchase to check Goldson's all right. And then gives Rangers a free kick.
Yeah.
Fuck, it was unreal. I can't imagine.
Things. When he knows, he must know the camera's on him because of him being in the boozer after that Old Firm game 2 years ago and all that. He must know. He knows that reputation's there, and yet he still does things like that. It's like he's got total immunity to just do what you fucking like. He must think he has. And
the linesmen, obviously, both of them, Ken, were as culpable. I had all the feelings like Ken, you get slated for being paranoid and all this kind of thing, Ken, as if referees aren't human and can't be fucking corrupt. But that was the first time in ages where I've been at a game where I was just like, these cunts are at it. Normally I'll moan about a referee. I think referees are just shite. Right? Most of the time, I don't think they're outright cheating. Last night I was like, Beaton's at it. The penalty, and there's things like he could have booked Boyle, so Boyle had a wee like a clip of the heels kind of thing, and he played advantage and Rangers went up the attack. And it's one of these ones that quite often the referee will come back and book him. I was trying to think, like, see if you could balance it out. He could have gone back and booked Boyle, and he didn't. So there was that one. The penalty was a penalty.
He could have booked McGinn for. Did you see McGinn with the penalty? He was really aggressive in his face, like, as well. I thought, well, Boyle got sent off last week. I mean, McGinn didn't point, but other than that, he must have been similar stuff. Because he was.
Martin Boyle had a shite game the other night.
Did you hear? The shite game he had?
Aye. I wonder if. So I kind of look to see whether you're just looking at it through the green tinted specs, etc. But
I think a lot of people are going into that game thinking, "Oh, it's fucking beaten and Walsh is fourth official." It was all the talk, wasn't it, on the message boards and that. I sat down, brother-in-law went, "Fucking Beaton's a ref, Walsh is a fourth what's it called? Fourth assistant. Fourth official, sorry. The linesman over the far side, he's a Rangers fan because he knows a boy that's he's a referee and supervisor or something. You know, does the scoring. You know, like, all right. So like before the game, we're already talking about how it's all Rangers. You know what I mean? that clouds you right away. Your mindset is you're looking for stuff. But then they didn't help themselves with blatant things like getting Porteous for getting banged in the back.
He was
like,
at Porteous all night as well, wasn't he? Like anytime Porteous got hurt, he had a word about it.
Who was Porteous? So when he was giving Porteous out, Porteous looked like he was looking over at the touchline as if to say, fuck's sake. And I thought at first it would be Jack Ross. But Jack Ross wasn't even looking at him. So I thought, is it the fourth official he's talking to here? Who's he actually? Aye, I mean, they've got it in for him, eh? That's, you come at the referees, they go away and they talk about divers. I mean, they've done it with Gary O'Connor that time when he took a dive and that. And they go away in their wee groups and have their training sessions and go, he's a bit of a prick, eh? And they'll just keep an eye on them after that. And they're doing that with Porteous now. Because they do
give him nothing, eh? Like, Rangers were like, just kind of have wee digs at him left, right and centre, then he got nothing all night. I thought Porteous was brilliant. Kind of apart from the penalty. Through the game,
yeah, we said that he would have been man of the match if it hadn't been for the penalty. And there was a couple of times he thought about, you could see he actually thought about going in and giving it the big one, but he didn't. He stayed on his feet, which is good because it's kind of shows he's eventually learning. The only thing I would say is, see the Morelos free header, Porteous isn't even near him. And it's another one across coming in the box at a centre half standing away 18, 20 yards out, and the centre halves and the centre forwards in there waiting on like an open goal effectively, nobody on him. And I just think, why do we keep getting caught out? Why is your centre halves like no marking up in the middle of the box, or why is it Cadden that's having to cover for it, or you know what I mean? Like, we've got centre halves, they're the best headers of the ball. Get them in the middle of the goal, headering the ball, and it's another one.
Good point.
And so that was the one when you watch it back, and it was obviously just because Morelos' belly's about the size of mine now that he couldn't get himself high enough, I think, to get that one in, because it was a fucking absolute sitter, really. When you see the replay.
The other kind of chat that we saw, kind of the message boards after, was about a bit of complaint about Jack Ross playing for a draw. What do you think of that opinion?
I didn't see at any point us sort of doing a St Johnston and just like covering the goal line and defending all out. We were still going forward and attacking, so I wouldn't say we were playing for a draw. I don't get that. I've seen a few folk reference it on some of the posts that like sort of the Jack Ross out sort of guys. They're coming out with that now. But I didn't think we were playing for a draw. I don't think we didn't set up for a draw. We played with two strikers. We've only got two. I think we played with both of them. So there might have been an argument to say, well, why play two? Because we've only got two. Can we keep one on the bench to come on? But we played with two strikers. We played the same. We said played the same team that we played in the semi-final. I don't think at any point we stood off and let them play. If anybody was playing for the draw or a sneaky win, was Rangers, compared to what they have been in previous seasons, because the fullbacks and that weren't bombing on like what they were under Gerrard, were they? I don't know what it was. And I don't think we played for a draw, no, to answer the question.
What was a strange... I suppose the strongest argument I saw for it was about the use of subs, and saying if you were to compare the two managers, little Giovanni van Bronckhorst put on two subs, and a few minutes later they got the goal. Yeah. And Jack Ross put subs on after the goal was conceded. So has Van Bronckhorst done that to chase the win? Going for it? And if so, is it fair to then say to about Jack Ross that if he'd done that earlier, we might have won it?
You could argue that. I can't see how. Well, we said it at the time that when they brought their subs on, that's actually strengthening their side. It's not like bringing a sub on. You're bringing on. Well, it was obviously like bringing a sub on, but you're bringing Arfield on for Davis. Davis is done. He's finished, and Arfield's a decent, good player. And Roof is better than Morelos at the moment. Morelos is shite. So that was actually strengthening their side by bringing them on, which might help get the goal rather than actually pushing for the goal, because it's just like for like subs.
Yeah.
But so it's not like he's not changed the formation. He's not all he's done is freshen the team up by bringing on better players. He's not changed anything to go for the win. I don't think there. But I kind of see what. I don't think we played for a draw, but I can kind of see I could see why folk would maybe think that based on the no subs thing. But what if he had brought a sub on and we'd lost? Then that would just give something else more ammo, wouldn't it, as well?
think that was my thinking with it, right? So I thought we were playing well, right? In the context of the game, I thought we were playing well. We weren't really troubling McGregor as much as I would like to have seen, but equally we weren't getting troubled. But I thought we were on the front foot. When we got the ball, we were going forward with it. When Rangers got it, we were aggressive, trying to win the ball back. And there was times, especially in the second half, where Rangers were toiling to get out their half. Do you know, like they were just lumping it forward, and we were picking it up and just going right back at them again.
The midfield were excellent last night, the three of them. And if you're thinking, because one of the subs would have been to take one of them off to bring on Allen or Murphy. Is that what you're going to say?
Aye, that's exactly. It's like who you taking off? Because as soon as you take off, and we saw it, you take off Campbell, you lose some of his running. Because I thought he had a great game for the young lad. Ken he had a good game. Then you've got Newell, who was playing really well. So Newell had a great. He got sponsors man of the match. Probably went for a couple of drinks and a wee. Well, I don't say that. Get a taxi home. After it, so Newell and Jake Tall-Hayes, who was excellent. Like, but they were both really the three of them were really influential in how we were playing to stop Rangers attacking. And if you take one of them away for a Scott Allen, for example, so you might gain a wee bit going forward, but you're probably losing more defensively. It's that.
Yeah,
it's a roll of the dice, isn't it? Like I'm not convinced.
Which then says that we play for a draw, then I guess.
Aye. So I don't know. I can understand why they didn't put the subs on until we were behind. I still think we played for a draw. I just think it was like the teams cancelled each other out, and it took a penalty to be the difference.
It didn't feel negative. It didn't feel like we were being negative.
No.
We're on a delay. We're on a delay, yeah.
A wee bit of delay, aye.
But it didn't feel negative to me.
It was night and day for the Celtic game when we played them, because Celtic came at us and they were 3-0 up, or 3-0 up in no time against us. They run over the top of us and we really struggled. So you compare the two performances, we're totally shite that night. Last night I didn't think we were shite. I thought we were pretty good and unlucky not to take anything for the game.
I agree. I don't think there's anybody who could say he was shite the night. You know, like the Celtic game, which was like terrible.
Aye. All right. Well, we'll wrap up because this was only meant to be a quick episode. I think we've done about 25 minutes. So, Motherwell on Saturday. What's your prediction?
I reckon it'll be cold. I think there'll not be a big crowd again, and I think we will win 2-1.
I'll go for a 1-0 win for us. Deutsch back on Saturday, didn't he?
Yes.
I'll go for 3-0 then. Deutsch should come off the bench when we're already 3-0 up. 6 minutes.
Just a couple of stars.
Aye. Right, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink water, no.